channel. Nice to see you. Happy Friday. That's what I'm talking about. Friday Night Live is here, right? Man, hanging out. It's been a wild week and been going all the way up until just when the stream starts here. And here we are. Happy Friday, everybody. Very cool. See some people hanging out already. Very, very nice. So, some new things. I don't know exactly how to work the members thing when it comes down to it. I just thought it was kind of a cool thing to embrace partnering with YouTube and having members for the channel. And then it's like, what am I going to give to a member, right? Agent Reads and Rambles in the house. That's what I'm talking about, buddy. Nice to see you. Happy Friday, Quentin. Nick Voro. Yeah, happy Friday for sure. Let's see if I can I would love to have a way to show you guys. I'll figure it out. The Falcon reads Tyler. That's what I'm talking about. Third, and there's a member. You see that Conrob too. Happy Friday, bro. For sure. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. See, Conrob's a member too. What's up, peeps? Everybody hanging out. So, getting to some awesome author today. If you saw the thumbnail, you know what I'm talking about. Gonna focus on some Gene Wolfe today. If you're not aware, you're gonna definitely be interested and intrigued by what there is to say about Gene Wolfe and what his whole thing is, you know. And I don't pretend to know what his whole thing is, of course. He wrote a lot more than what I've read so far, all this kind of thing. But what I have read is so intriguing that I can't wait to get more. All right. Nice to see everyone for sure. So yes, Emily is on the road. Hello. And out taking care of our daughter Fiona. Fiona's always got plans. And she rocks, and she's rocking at being a teenager, working, schooling, friending, all that kind of stuff, and she's just rocking all around. So when she needs something, we pretty much give it. And tonight, Emily is out and taking her where she needs to go, that kind of thing. So being a good mom, basically. And she is an amazing mom. So I have an idea to give away a book to members on the channel, right? And that be members. Hey, Brian Bedford in the house. Nice to see you, bro. To give away a book to members only every month, right? So I just started it this month, and there's 10 members, okay? and they're some of them are not really interested in the giveaway. And so I posted a video earlier today, just a quick little thing just for members where they could say, nice. She's here, but back out in 30 minutes to pick her up. Cool. Well, at least home with the other girls, they out there hanging out. And so I said, let me know who wants this giveaway, right? Out of the members, so I can know how many to choose from. It's going to be a very small pool, right? Maybe even just 2 or 3 only want it or need it, because some of my members might already have it. I think 1 or 2 of them already does. Nancy, happy Friday. Yeah, Nancy is a Moon Palm. And yeah, it's been a while since I saw you on and seen awesome pics from you. Nancy's got an amazing book collection that rivals any here on BookTube or on Bookstagram. Yeah, buddy. Dude, I'm going to show a lot of Gene Wolfe tonight, let me tell you. And let me get through the first thing, because it's a thing of, nobody really piped up on the video. It has an amount of views. Some of the members have seen it, but nobody's really piped up saying, yeah, I want in on the giveaway. So I don't know who to give it to. And when it comes down to it, I haven't seen any other copies of than this. Little Brown, right? Back Bay Books is a maybe an imprint of Little Brown, I believe, or something like this. They were the publishers of it. Same cover all the time. I have another copy. I just got it. Clayton, happy Friday, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. I think you would like it, Tyler, for sure. It's he Pinchon is very funny. Very, very funny. He really is kind of a goat of writing, especially of postmodernism, but just writing it in general, just all around. Such an amazing um, author. There's a spot on your shelf waiting for it. Nice, Clayton. All right. So I figure I'll just kind of uh I'll just do it old school then, okay? If you're cool with it, if whoever's a member, if you want it, I'm going to just draw it. I'll write them down, and I promise that I won't be, I don't have any. I wish I could give it to everybody, okay? I really do. I wish I could give it to everybody. But there's going to be a one every month. Period. I mean it. I got a lot of good stuff. I got a lot of cool stuff. And I got a lot of cool stuff that I'd love to give away to people that really love it, right? And that really want it, and I'll do it. So, I'm going to go ahead and give away this one tonight. Anybody who's a member wants it, you just pipe up and we'll throw it in there. And Clayton's in. And Conrad says he already has a copy. So, pinch on slow learner. We'll keep it right there for a minute. Hey, teeny tiny. Happy Friday. For sure. The introduction slaps. It sure does. Everybody loves pinch on just because nobody really knows anything about pinch on, right? So, I'm going to do each the same way. Happy Friday for sure. Win Lost Girls when I give that one away. I might give that one away. If I do, it's going to be like an epic. Um I'm just kidding. I wouldn't I don't know if I'd give that one away. Only if I got two copies, let me tell you. So, Gene Wolfe is best known. I'm going to just go ahead and go into the Gene Wolfe a bit because that's where we're going to stick for a lot of the night. And at first, all right, so there's Clayton. Clayton's in the drawing. If anybody else wants to get in the drawing, you just pipe up. It's going to be a small pool, okay, when it comes down to it, because there's not many members. And, hopefully it grows, to be something fun like that. But I'm down to keep it a small pool. I'm going to give away crazy good stuff. So if only, 10, 20, 30 people are in like that, you have a very high likelihood of getting it. And tonight I will reveal also what my giveaway is for March. Yeah, what's up, Jack? Rambling Raconteur in the house. Happy Friday, bro. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I might do a James Patterson box. I can probably get all of, a Jane Patterson haul for next to nothing. Tom L.A. Books in the house. That's what I'm talking about. I read Tom last year, The Book of the New Sun. This is Gene Wolfe's 4-book epic. This is actually 4 volumes in this one bind up here. The Sword of the Lictor, The Claw of the Conciliator, The Sword of the Shadow of the Torturer, that's the first one, and then The Citadel of the Autarch is the last one. So 4 books published 1980, 81, 81, and 82 respectively, obviously written as a single big story. And it reads like a single big story. We have a single protagonist. It's almost first person, this narrative. most of it, and it's epic. It's amazing. It's a mind blow, and I wasn't ready for it. I had no idea what to expect with Book of the New Sun. And for those of you who haven't read any of it, or maybe have read Book of the New Sun and thought, what does that even mean? You have to read the Urth of the New Sun. You have to read this book right here. This is a wonderful kind of ending to the Book of the New Sun series. It really provides a lot of context, a nice wrapping of it, and I don't see where you would, what anybody would think about Book of the New Sun without reading this, because it's essential. It's like reading Dune and not reading Dune Messiah and then wanting to talk about Paul Atreides' story, right? The story is still, this is still Severian's story. This picks up pretty soon after Book of the New Sun. You have to read it, and it's awesome. I liked it, just as much, if not more, than Book of the New Sun, because it really did what you want it to do, which is answer some questions, right? Oh, Wolfe is very cryptic. Wolfe is that kind of writer that is cryptic and mysterious. But what he is the most is a wonderful storyteller. Wolfe is an amazing storyteller, right? Man, dress as Severian for Halloween. Yeah, right? Oh, Tom has an amazing edition of Gene Wolfe's Book of the New Sun. He has the Folio Society edition. It's amazing. Yeah, Orlando Furioso. That's what yes. Very cool. Haven't read Urth yet? Oh, you're in for it, Nancy. You're going to love it. It really is the best. It gives you exactly what you really want with, the whole time you're reading Book of the New Sun, what you really want is in Urth of the New Sun. It really is there. What shines with Gene Wolfe, as far as I can tell, is his pure storytelling ability. Omar Velasco Santiago, happy Friday, brother, and thanks for coming by. What really shines with Gene Wolfe is his storytelling ability. There's an amazing part in the Book of the New Sun where there's like a storytelling battle. A woman has two suitors, maybe three, and she challenges them all to tell a story, and the winner, she will take his hand, right? So we get those stories. We have this whole interlude, and it's obvious that the stories have a lot of meaning for the greater story, right? And a lot of symbolic interpretations are plain, but some are very deep. You got to kind of tease them out, and there's a lot to tease out in Gene Wolfe. There's a lot of clues. There's a lot of telling. And that's the thing, is when he does deliver something, he might deliver it very casually, and it blows you away, right? So the Book of the New Sun actually locked down my mental space for a long time. And last year I really was just thinking on it so much, and it was a time commitment to reading the Book of the New Sun and Urth of the New Sun. Anyways, it's 5 novels, right? But I did it in maybe it was a month and a half, something like that. But I thought about it for way longer, and then didn't go on with Gene Wolfe after that, because when it comes down to it, I didn't want to be locked down like that completely, right? Still. So if anybody also just pipe up if you want to be in the running for getting Thomas Pynchon's Slow Learner. I'm giving that away tonight. Very cool, Clayton. Yeah, Tom is doing a service to the whole book and story loving community with his Orlando Furiosos, but also the amazing job that he did with the Divine Comedy. That's right. That's right. We was going deep, Jack. We was going deep. um, but after Book of the New Sun, in that same world, I believe, you know, there is a continuing series, the books of the Long Sun, and there's 4 books to that as well. Here I have Litany of the Long Sun. This is 2 of the Long Sun volumes, the first 2, bound up in one. Night Side of the Long Sun and Lake of the Long Sun, right? I'll just put this one sideways because we're gonna go more. And then we have Exodus from the Long Sun. Look at this cover. I mean, it's like glorious, you know? Just completely glorious. And these books, you know, it seems like Gene Wolfe is just fleshing out more of the universe there, and like what he's doing is he's playing metaphysical games and things like that. So I am interested to see where he goes with it for sure. But was just, at the mental strain that it takes to go through Wolfe. It's real, okay? And this is Calde of the Long Sun. I don't know what that means. If someone is not a member, can they become a member tonight and get in the drawing? Yes, for sure. It's still February, right? So it's just going to be February, and I'm not going to be hard on it. Whoever's a member, when I say is in the drawing. If you have the little icon, then and you say you want it tonight, then you got it. You're in the drawing. What a glorious cover, right? So, and this is a whole nother series. These 2 and this 4 books in a Book of the Long Sun, Books of the Long Sun, right? Never went for it, haven't gone for it yet. But from what I can tell, Gene Wolfe is just a master at the short story, right? And went, for storytelling in a big way. Wrote over 100, very prolific short story writer, unbound by any limitations. He went towards fantasy and sci-fi in a way to just flex the most mind-bending ideas. Very scientific in the ways that he goes. This dude loves the sun. He really loves the sun. There is another series after that called Books of the Short Sun. I don't have any of those. I might get them after I read Books of the Long Sun. I don't know. We'll see how far I go. But all that to say, Gene Wolfe is in the running, okay, for some 2023 reading. I'm going to read some Gene Wolfe. And I think I'm going to go for some short stories because I really want to see how strong he is. What's up, Fit to be Read? Michael Evert's in the house. Yeah, buddy. Nice to see you, man. For sure. Happy Friday. All of that. If anybody if you want in the running for Thomas Pynchon's Slow Learner, I'm going to do the drawing a little later on. But you have to be a member, and you have to let me know because there's too many. There's just a very small member pool. You have to let me know you want in. So I got the best of Gene Wolfe. I wish that it had some essays, some kind of writings on some kind of literary criticism, but that's not what this turned out to be. What it turns out to be is a compiling of his quote-unquote greatest short fiction. Quite a few of these I have with The Fifth Head of Cerberus, And there's so many, Gene Wolfe was so strange. And you'll see this with some of the other titles that I'm going to show tonight. But there is The Island of Dr. Death, and then another short story, The Death of Dr. Island, and then another short story, The Death of Island Doctor. uh I thought there was another one too. And it's just like, what is he even doing? He is doing on purpose to kind of just mess with the reader. It seems like he really had the reader right exactly where he wanted them, all the time. He always had them right where he wants them. He knows what he's doing, and he's just running it, right? A real complete master. Gene Wolfe really was. It's good to see the gun show. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Is Marcia Cartarescu in the running? Who? Wait. Who? Jack. What letters is that? What kind of A is that? All right. I don't even think about more pinch on. No. I mean, you went right for the worst. You went right for the hardest thing that you could. And I really don't recommend Pynchon's first 3 novels, like, ever, to people. I wouldn't recommend that to people. If you're going to go for something like, Gravity's Rainbow, or The Crying of Lot 49, or Slow Learner, um, you're going to go for it because you love Pynchon. It's so much better to suggest something more accessible. And that doesn't mean that it's lacking in any kind of way. Against the Day is spectacular. Freaking spectacular. Yes. I'm going to read all of his Dr. Death, Dr. Island stories. It's just so intriguing that he, does what he does. What's up, Lee D. Thompson? Happy Friday. Thanks for coming by. 5th head of Cerberus, good stuff. Yeah, I've heard that's one of his best. But so much of his stuff is like, people will say, yeah, I read that. It's amazing. It's one of his best things ever. Maybe his best story or his best novel. And I'm like, seriously, right now? The guy was just all over the place and very, very prolific, right? Yeah, where should you start with Gene Wolfe? I'm not a good, maybe after this year, right? Let me get to some more Gene Wolfe. All I've read is the Book of the New Sun series and the Urth of the New Sun. That's 5 books, but it's only one series. Hey, Alexa, happy Friday, man. Nice to see you. Alexa is in Serbia. Thank you for coming by. I hope your day's going well, or morning, as the case may be. I'll show one of the newer acquires from Gene Wolfe, and it is one that my boy Tom, he's here tonight, Tom LA Books, said that he tried to read it after we did our Urth of the New Sun and Book of the New Sun read along and everything. And he read part of it and had no idea what was being said. This is Peace by Gene Wolfe, right? This is Tom, you're killing me. Peace seems great. I mean, what it says is great. The AI Gene Wolfe's title generator. It's so good. Nice, Conrad. Yeah, if you will. Yeah. Oh, and the Book of the New Sun, that series, I loved it. I crushed it. I read it really, really quick. And so, and it's action packed. I mean, it's great. A lot of Wolf's action happens off the page, but that doesn't matter. I mean, it's part of the plot and the storyline, right? Look at this cover. I love this tree here. And it's almost like, kind of a nature, divine nature, right? A nature divinity of some kind. But Um, yep, I got just a paperback. I'm gonna check it out. I'm definitely interested in it. This is set up as a memoir. So check this out. Tell me if you think this sounds good. A memoir of Alden Dennis Woer, told as he apparently lives out his last years in the same Midwestern town where he was born. It is a melancholy, amiable series of tales. So there we go again with, a kind of storytelling mode. But his story reveals that Weir has been around more than his fair share of death, and this may not be coincidental. As the narrative unfolds, a miraculous dimension emerges, for Weir's imagination can reshape reality, obliterate time, even transcend death itself. So there I'm thinking of things like Ursula K. Le Guin's The Lathe of Heaven, right? Where somebody in their dreams actually can reshape and does reshape reality, and then they wake to the new world, right? Peace is a seductive, powerful, and affecting novel of rare resonance and depth, a brilliantly imaginative tour de force that ranks alongside the most memorable modern fantasies. I mean, who says that? Right? Right? See, Peace, a memoir, a series of tales that's a memoir, a fictitious memoir of somebody breaks your mind into 1,000 pieces. That's what Wolfe does. It's crazy. No. We don't need all that. We don't need all that on the top. Yeah. You are cool. All right, let's see what's up. Am I reading your mind, Lee? I wish I was reading your mind. I mean, maybe I'm glad I'm not reading your mind. You know? We never know. We can count our blessings, right? We never know in which ways we are blessed and in which ways. Maybe I'm blessed just because I can't read your mind. 4 pages a day. There's Gravity's Rainbow for you. 4 pages a day. You're doing good. Oh, that's funny. Hilarious. Cool. Okay, I'll show you one that I've had for a while. I found this used, and this is super intriguing as well. All right, Latro in the Mist. This is a bind up of 2 books. Soldier of the Mist, and then Soldier of Crete. Crete. Is that what it is? I can't find the title page. Soldier of Arit. Soldier of the Mist and Soldier of Arit, right? And this is kind of a historical fantasy because it has a lot of mythology, like historical and myth. A distinguished compilation of 2 classic fantasy novels in 1 volume. This omnibus of 2 acclaimed novels is a story of Latro, a Roman mercenary who, while fighting in Greece, received a head injury that deprived him of his short-term memory. So what does that make you think of? A main character, a protagonist that has lost short-term memory. Is that Memento? Memento, anyone? Yeah. So I believe this was written completed in 1989. I might be wrong in that. It's like 86, 89 maybe was published in parts. I'm not sure. It's amazing, Clayton. It's very literary. Oh, Gene Wolfe is very, very literary. And there's more okay. So not able to create short-term memories anymore because of a head injury, right? It gives him in return the ability to see and converse with supernatural creatures and the gods and goddesses who invisibly inhabit the ancient landscape. Latro forgets everything when he sleeps, writing down his experiences every day and reading his journal anew every morning gives him a poignantly tenuous hold on himself, but his story's hold on readers is powerful indeed, and many consider these Wolfe's best books. Who's these many? Okay, I mean, it's ridiculous. But even to the speaking to the writing down your experiences so that you can have something to go on the next day, even that speaks to memento, right? With sticky notes all over the place. And he was even tattooing himself, right? To be able to remember anything about what he like planned on doing that day. It's crazy. So who knows? Who knows if it's a little foreshadowing of that? Maybe it maybe it even influenced Memento for all I know. Aronofsky, didn't he do? No. Christopher Nolan did Memento. And Christopher Nolan is a great movie maker, undeniable now. So maybe he read Gene Wolfe, who knows? Another that speaks to Gene Wolfe's. Lee says, read my book instead. There you go. Hey, Jack, have a good weekend, brother. See you later. Yeah. A pastoral is brilliant. Cool. I got it sitting here. Actually, Lee D. Thompson. Booyah. Look. I got it sitting on the shelf because it's to be read very, very soon. So, that's the book. This is the book in question. You can get it from coronasamas.press, one of my favorite presses. And I'm actually going to be doing a big something with coronasamas.press tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, sorry. Next Friday. We're going to be releasing some new things. I'm just going to leave it at that. Just going to leave it. Didn't mean to brag or anything. You're so... Dude, Quentin is so silly. All right, another one that I had for a little while. I picked this one up. I picked this one up at a used bookstore. And see, that's the thing is, if you're looking for Wolfe, you can find Gene Wolfe in places. All the Gene Wolfe that I've gotten, pretty much, has been found at used bookstores. Things that are really, people talk about is the Book of the New Sun more than anything. And it's great, but that you only find sparingly, right? To get a good volume of that, you might have to buy it. And the books of the Long Sun, like the Litany of the Long Sun here, the 2 books bound up, I found that in a used bookstore. But these books I had to buy, and search out. What's crazy is how many short stories he wrote and how many short story collections there must be for Gene Wolfe in his bibliography, and you don't see short story collections everywhere. I think every movie kind of insists upon itself, right? Same thing with our beloved books. Free Live Free by Gene Wolfe. This is another kind of, he doesn't do strictly fantasy, like hard fantasy. And he doesn't do strictly sci-fi, right? It's this kind of blend of whatever he wants is what it comes down to. The Book of the New Sun, this kind of, that vein of writing kind of, I would say, is largely sci-fi. And undeniably sci-fi, even if the sci-fi is mixed with other elements. But there's writings of his that seem not to have much at all to do with sci-fi. Might just be fantasy, right? But let's check out what Free Live Free is about. On the front is a blurb here. 4 people in contemporary Chicago are caught up in a search for the lost treasure of Benjamin Free. So, Free Live Free, quote, "Free Live Free," said the newspaper ad, and the out-of-work detective John Stubb, the occultist Madame Serpentina, the salesman Ozzie Barnes, and the overweight prostitute Candy Garth are brought together to live for a time in Fee's old house, a house scheduled for demolition to make way for a highway. Free drops mysterious hints of his exile from his homeland and of the lost key to his return. And so when the demolition occurs and Free disappears, the 4 make a pact to continue the search, which ultimately takes them far beyond their wildest dreams. It doesn't tell you much anything, right? This one, this one I guess is sci-fi because, sits firmly in sci-fi because a blurb here says, "This is character-driven science fiction at its best by a writer whom, at the time of its first publication, the Chicago Sun-Times called science fiction's best genuine novelist." I mean, the praise is unbelievable for Gene Wolfe. And what he can do, I mean, Free Live Free, this book is not so long. It's not even 400 pages, okay? So, but I can't say that I expect it to be a quick read, right? I don't know what to expect from Gene Wolfe. If everything might be like Book of the New Sun was, right? The shelves had nothing but sci-fi book club editions. If you want a good paperback, you can get it, right? That's what it comes down to. If you want a good paperback, you can get it, of Gene Wolfe or anybody else. And if you want a hardcover, you might have to pay a little bit. But books are generally cheap nowadays. Let's get a pastoral a little bit more in there, right? Why not? There we go. Looking good. All right. Anybody, any members, if you're down, you holler at me. Let me know if you want to be in the drawing for Thomas Pynchon's Slow Learner. I'm not gonna hold off too much longer until I just give it away, right? Because that's what I want to do more than anything. Another kind of wild sci-fi. This is from the haul that I just got. Yeah, product placement, right? Yeah, the member giveaway for this month, Thomas Pynchon's Slow Learner. If you want in on it, just holla at your boy. So there are doors, right? And I'll tell you something. The premise of this, I would never pick it up if it wasn't Gene Wolfe. I would never pick this up if it wasn't Gene Wolfe. But that cover is awesome, isn't it? Gene Wolfe does have awesome covers. So I'll give you some of that action and say, a blurb, sentence by sentence, Mr. Wolfe writes as well as anyone in science fiction today. There Are Doors is the story of a man who falls in love with a goddess from an alternative universe. She flees him, but he pursues her through doorways, interdimensional gateways to the other place, determined to sacrifice his life if necessary for her love. For in her world, to be her mate is to die. So, I mean, that tells me nothing, and nothing about it is really that intriguing, right? I mean, it's just like, sounds kind of gimmicky, sounds kind of, but it's Gene Wolfe. So, I mean, I have no doubt that it's It reaches in there and pries your mind open quite a bit. It's 313 pages with big font. I mean, it's a weekend read, you know? If it was anybody else, I have no confidence that I'd be able to read that in a weekend, even though, you know, I might be able to read it in a weekend, right? But Gene Wolfe is dense, you know, not just as Gene Wolfe dense. Gene Wolfe is cryptic in that way. So what do you expect? You know, what do you do? I don't even know what to do anymore. This one I found in a used bookstore over last year, and just picked it up. You know, maybe spent a dollar on it. But this is another one that you don't really hear about Gene Wolfe. An Evil Guest by Gene Wolfe. This is a pop thriller. This is Neil Gaiman, with a blurb on the back. A pop thriller, and that's a compliment because Wolfe knows from pulp, a pulp thriller. Sorry, Wolfe knows from pulp thrillers. He wrote a wonderful pastiche of one in The Island of Dr. Death and Other Stories. And because he's here creating a strange sort of genre meltdown, a 21st century pulp adventure thriller with sci-fi and horror elements that nobody else could possibly have written. I'm down. I mean, I'm just so down. And maybe we'll say, maybe I'll give a little bit of the inside flap just to share what this one is about. I mean, but look, Michael Swanwick, author of Dragons of Babel, says this: Gene Wolfe is the greatest writer in the English language alive today. Let me repeat that. Gene Wolfe is the greatest writer in the English language alive today, in italics. I mean it. Shakespeare was a better stylist. Melville was more important to American letters, and Charles Dickens had a defter hand at creating characters. But among living writers, there is nobody who can even approach Gene Wolfe for brilliance of prose, clarity of thought, and depth of meaning. I mean, seriously, right? Nice. Nicely. Yeah, I think that's really a good way to frame, you know, like what Gene Wolfe is like for someone who's never read him. That he's like, you know, he's not your simple storyteller, but his stories are magnificently crafted. And he's just, it's like, I look at it like being in the hands of a Faulkner, right? A master storyteller that you just say, okay, you know, I have no idea where I'm at. I have no idea what is going on, but I'm going to just go along for the ride because, and trust the writer, right? Zing, Robert White with the zinger. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, what's he like as an author lead? There's a lot of interviews with Gene Wolfe on YouTube. I have not, you know, watched a lot of it. But check this out. Gene Wolfe is as good a writer as there is today. I feel a little bit like a musical contemporary attempting to tell people what's good about Mozart. Right? It's ridiculous. So, An Evil Guest is a standalone supernatural horror novel in the Lovecraftian tradition with a 1930s noir atmosphere. Gene Wolfe can write in whatever genre he wants, and always with superb style and profound depth. Now following his World Fantasy Award winner Soldier of Sidon, and his recent stunning Pirate Freedom 2 that, you know, I've never heard of. Wolfe turns to the tradition of H.P. Lovecraft and the weird science tales of cosmic horror. Set 100 years in the future An evil guest is the story of an actress who becomes the lover of both a mysterious pirate private detective and even more mysterious and powerful rich man who has been to the human colony on an alien planet and learned strange things there. Her loyalties are divided. Perhaps she loves them both. The detective who's some kind of wizard helps her to release her inner beauty and become a star overnight. And the rich man is the angel of a play she stars in, but something is very wrong. Money can be an evil guest, but there are other evils, as Lovecraft said. That is not dead which can eternal lie. That is not dead which can eternal lie. So, again, I mean, it's like I look at Gene Wolfe like the author version of, Aesop Rock as a songwriter. Just you can listen until you're just like, wait, what? What, dude? And it's like, but I love it. I love it. Yeah, kind of mines the psyche. Mystical for sure. Hear lots of mind-bending and write sci-fi and fantasy, but can't glean what makes him special. Is he funny, melancholy, thrilling? Would funny or melancholy or thrilling be the words to make him special? I think really what makes Gene Wolfe special is that is how high level storytelling and literary it is. The poetics are awesome. And it is told in like, you just have atmosphere and scenes. In Book of the New Sun, the botanical gardens are some of the most amazing settings in sci-fi, or in literature, right? Because it is the only thing about it being sci-fi, and especially things these kind of mind-blowing or mind-bending, is being able to have on the table things that aren't really possible, right? Not in our world here, not realism, right? And nothing, something that is completely impossible, but it is a reality in that story. So, nice, Robert. Well, I'm glad that you got turned on, man. That's what I'm here to do, baby. I'm gonna do more Gene Wolfe content, that's for sure. I haven't done much on Gene Wolfe. Just read what I've read. But I have acquired a lot of Gene Wolfe because I've been hunting them in used bookstores, right? So another one that I picked up before, this is a short story collection, The Stories from Old Hotel, the old hotel. This is a beautiful edition, just like old school, great cover. It has quite a few stories in it. I mean, maybe 20, 25. The Marvelous Brass Chess Playing Automaton. I'm down for that. Yeah, I mean, just too cool. There's one called A Solar Labyrinth. That, the name of that brings to mind Book of the New Sun. Yeah, Fifth Head of Cerberus, getting some praise on there. I mean, and there's just a huge list of his books, So much stuff that you haven't heard of. Because I mean, it's like, why? Why is it just that it's so inaccessible like that it's out of print? That's why it's out of print. Really? Well, I mean, and I do think it is like Ace, but not just words washing over you, like too many words, but just cryptic in how things are said or what words are used to explain things maybe sometimes. But then, like I say, the reveals with Gene Wolfe are very casual. You just have something revealed just in conversation or in, who knows, but just very casually in the story. And it's a complete mind blow. And then you think about all the really high level, passionate parts of the book or of the story. And, it just all works so well together. Severian is a very passionate protagonist. Gene Wolfe might be a very sensual writer. Definitely very sensual writer. Like Faulkner in that way, too. Not just poetic, but very involved in the senses of the reader and of the characters. And there's just really, I can't say enough about it. You can see here that I'm fully on my Gene Wolfe way, right? Okay, last call. Last call if anybody wants to get on Thomas Pynchon's Slow Learner. Anyone? Going once? Going twice? There it is. My first member giveaway. I'm going to call it. Okay, I'm going to show one more first. I never had seen this before. I had to get this one off of eBay because this is acclaimed, to be his greatest works, people's favorite works. Felicity McCarthy, I think her YouTube account channel is my house as a library. Oh, I love her. Oh, library. Her home library is so good. Nice. So it's so her library is so good, and she has a lot of Gene Wolfe. She loves Gene Wolfe, but her favorite, she says, one of her favorites to read at least is The Fifth Head of Cerberus. And this has Ursula K. Le Guin saying, a subtle and ingenious, poetic and picturesque book, the uncertainty principle embodied in brilliant fiction. Wolfe is so good he leaves me speechless. Maybe the only person that Ursula K. Le Guin has ever said that about. Okay? Ursula K. Le Guin leaves me speechless. Okay? It's just amazing. And this is also, I think it's 3 novellas. That's what is in here. 3 novellas. So he has a tendency to write 3 novellas by Gene Wolfe. Even if he writes a novel, he does so in stories, in storytelling format. And he just really knows what he's doing. Okay. Yes. All right, I'm doing it. Clayton, it's yours, baby. Clayton, everybody give Clayton a congratulatory. Clayton, you're my first winner. He's a winner. He gets gifted the membership, and now he wins the first giveaway on the channel. Yeah, Clayton. The boy needs more to read. That's all I can say is that I hung out with Clayton. We went on an awesome ATL book hunt, and that's where I found my next giveaway, which, Clayton, this will be on the way to you. Instagram me, hit me your address. It's in the mail, baby. Thomas Pynchon, Slow Learner. Don't worry, I have another copy. I want to say, when I was out with Clayton, you are lucky, bro. You're a badass. When I was out with Clayton, I found something, and I found this awesome edition right here of the Book of the New Sun by Gene Wolfe. You might go, Noah, Isn't that exactly like the other Book of the New Sun bind up that you just showed? Well, no, it's not exactly like it, because this one has a little damage to the dust jacket up here. And I might go get that covered before the end of the month for the winter. But the book is tight. It doesn't seem to have been read at all. Look at this binding. Okay? Do you see what this is? I have 2 copies of the 4 book edition bind up of Gene Wolfe's Book of the New Sun. You know what that means? Can anybody guess what that means? You're correct. If you guessed anything, I'm sure you guessed the right thing. This is a bind up, the Book of the New Sun bind up, with the shadow of the torturer, the claw of the conciliator, the sword of the lictor, and the citadel of the autarch, all bound in one edition, hardcover, beautifully done, and it is March's giveaway for members. So if you're a member, you have to be a member through March, right? So if you're interested in it, renew, no big deal. If you're not interested in it, don't worry about it, right? Keep the pool how it is for who's interested in the giveaway. So when I saw this, I got it. So I really picked this up. Where did I get it in such pristine condition? I got it at where were we? We were at Half Price Books, downtown Atlanta. Half Price Books. That's where I got this one. I'm 100%. It was Half Price Books when I was out there with Clayton. Downtown Atlanta, baby. So this one is not in great condition, okay? I mean, this copy, I got this one wrapped in freaking, it was brand new. I got the poster with this one. There's a big, wall poster of this cover that I got with this book, because this is pristine condition. This book is brand new. This book, the dust jacket and everything has gotten a little, it's been through it a little bit. Maybe somebody didn't take too much care of it. Oh yeah, they're bright. But these books, they were wrapped. They were wrapped on shipping because they had a kind of poster of this art. Here's the full picture. I bet I have it kind of close. I probably just stuck it like up in a bookshelf, right? On one of my shelves. I think it's pretty close, but I'm not sure, and I'm not going to go hunting for it while just right here at the end of the live. But when I saw this, I couldn't help it. I said, you know what? I've never seen this on the shelf. I had got mine from for my birthday. My edition like this. So I never seen it on the shelf. So I'm going to buy it. I'm going to get it, and I'm going to get it for my members. So there it is. The giveaway for March is a bind up of Gene Wolfe's Book of the New Sun. All 4 books. So I will suggest that if you're going to embark on this journey, that you definitely get yourself a copy of Urth of the New Sun. Okay? It is essential. It is completely essential. And I hope you enjoyed tonight, y'all. Happy Friday. Congratulations, Clayton. And thank you, everyone, for coming and crushing a Friday with me. Spending an hour hanging out, talking books, and exploring some Gene Wolfe and talking some Gene Wolfe. I'm really into it, and there's more to show. I have the Wizard Knight. I've had that on my shelf for a while, and I didn't show that one. And I haven't read it, but That more is hard fantasy. And then I got in this recent haul, most recent haul is Pandora by Holly Hollander by Gene Wolfe, right? The book's title is Pandora by Holly Hollander. So it's a book written by a character in this book, right? So, another great cover, another killer cover. So I'm just gonna show it as we are done for the night. So thank you very much, BookTube. I'll catch you on the next one.